Welcome, movie fans, to the latest episode of the Summer Movie Draft. The year is 2026, and we are talking into our third weekend of the game. We are basically going to be discussing the box office returns that came to us for the weekend of the June 5th to 7th. But as usual, we start off with what we've been watching. My co-host for this particular episode is Miss Candace, who had a movie that also opened this previous weekend. You see anything interesting lately there, Candace?
I did. I did not see any movies at all last weekend or last week. I was away at my cottage. I'm sorry I couldn't join you last week for the episode for what did I have last week? Backrooms. That's what opened last weekend for me, right?
You
Yeah.
had Backrooms, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Um, yeah, so this week, yes, I did go see a movie. I went just yesterday to Cineplex's Monday surprise movies, secret cinema surprise movie, what the film, whatever they're calling it.
What the film? Yeah, I believe is what they call it. What the film? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't hear anybody actually call it what the film except to make like jokes about that stupid name. But
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes. So I did get to see a movie yesterday. I saw Caroline,
Mm-hmm.
starring Kyle Gallner and Samara Weaving, and I was
Right.
rather excited to see it actually.
Yeah.
Even more so than if it had been the movie that we thought might actually show. Because I kind of actually don't care about the movie we thought might actually kind of show, which is why I thought, oh, I'll buy a ticket to this because if it's that, then it'll force me to watch it.
That's one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what Candace is sort of skirting around is she actually canceled our recording of this on the Monday night to go see this. And then in our messages back and forth, I got the notification from Cineplex about the movie. And then as it turns out, it's kind of a weird coincidence that this the special secret movie, the What the Film, just happens to be the same length. There's two films upcoming that happen to be the exact same length, and I
Hmm.
think a couple of us were a little more excited to see one movie, but we went to see Karina Caroline,
Caroline.
Carolina
Carolina, like South
Carolina
Carolina.
Carolina Carolyn.
Yeah.
Yes, Carolina Carolyn.
Carolina
And it
Caroline.
Caroline. Right,
Yeah.
her name is Caroline. Right, she's
Yeah.
from
She's from
Carolina.
yeah.
She's
Wants to go to
from
South
Texas.
Carolina.
Wants to go to Carolina. There we
Yeah.
go. Yes.
Yeah.
So Candace basically in her talking like had me pumped like, hey, there's a chance that it could be this other movie, and I convinced the other two gentlemen that are taking part in our movie game to actually come out as well at the last minute sort of thing, and it was kind of cool. It was actually
Yeah.
the first time the four of us have all seen a movie at the exact same time for this game, which is
Hmm.
kind of an
Yeah.
interesting thing. But yeah, no, it was a really kind of a neat experience. The whole idea is really cool to be able
Yeah.
to get a sneak preview at movies that the general audience are definitely probably not going to get around to seeing in huge numbers,
Well, and it's weird
and we get
because sorry.
go ahead.
Typically the movie they play is something that's coming out 2 weeks from now. That's
Yes.
kind of been the standard.
Yes.
But Caroline technically comes out this week, but you mentioned that it actually came out on a small number of screens
Yep.
last
Yep.
Friday. So
It
it's
did.
sort of
Yep.
weird because typically
Yeah.
it is like a sneak preview of something coming out 2 weeks from now, but this one technically was not.
Exactly. Which is kind of weird. Again, I don't have the numbers on how many screens it opened, but from the amount that it made, it probably was a very small select sort of probably like just hey, New York or Los Angeles or some small little town or something like
Hmm.
that in the states where it opened. But yeah, it as a movie experience, it was actually quite entertaining. It was again, I had no idea what the movie was prior to Candace going, "Hey, can we put this back on our list?" And then it basically went on our list for roster. But it is kind of a really cool, like, little bit of a crime drama love story, which is really endearing and something that was something of that I normally wouldn't have seen, at least in the theater.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I really like about that is I don't know how full it was at your theater, but every time I go, there's in general more people there on a Monday night to watch a movie they don't actually know than I see at the theater any of the other times I go.
Yeah. When I went to purchase the tickets, there were a limited amount of tickets. They weren't. It wasn't completely sold out, but there was a good collection of seats that had been taken by the time I got around to getting the tickets. And thankfully, the three of us, myself, Dan, and Mitch, were able to sit right next to each other, so that was kind of cool. But I don't think a lot of the people actually showed up because it seemed to be a lot more empty seats
Hmm.
once the movie had actually started. But hey, I guess unless they found out at the last second that it wasn't going to be the movie that everyone hoped it was going to be, but that's
Who
neither here
knows?
nor there. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, just to throw this as well. Myself and Daniel, part of the game, we on the Friday went to see Masters of the Universe.
Mm.
I don't even realize we got talking about the one movie that we all saw, and then I completely forgot. Oh wait, yeah, there was another movie that we saw. Um, I will say that it is a very fun movie. It is a movie that definitely knows that its audience is going to be 40 plus years old, so it plays to
Yeah.
that. It plays to the ability for that generation to bring the next generation into viewing this movie. It doesn't go too over the top, but it does get a little cheesy at times. It does sometimes make fun of itself, but it also definitely sometimes takes itself like really serious.
Hmm.
It's full of action. It's full of humor. Um, it's very charming to watch at times, and the addressing the elephant in the room, Jared Leto isn't that bad. I would actually say he is actually quite enjoyable to watch. Again, we're dealing with a character that is all practical, like rubber suit that Jared Leto's wearing, but you don't see Jared Leto's face because it's all
Hmm.
Skeletor's skull. But he also puts on a voice. I likened him a little to sounding kind of like a version of Tim Curry's Darkness from Legend sort of thing. Like that sort of he actually has like a bit of an accent to it. It's a
Hmm.
little more on the comical side,
Okay.
but it's definitely like leaning towards like that sort of bombastic character. And the script written for Skeletor would definitely fit into the actual cartoon from the 80s. And there are people out there that have already taken some scenes and have dubbed their own version of the original voice actor, their impression of the
Hmm.
original voice of Skeletor into it, and it works perfectly fine. So it is a fun movie. It'll probably do
Interesting.
huge once it goes on to Amazon because
Yeah.
it's definitely an Amazon movie. And I just hope that they see enough in it that them and Mattel can team up again to bring us more to from this Eternia sort of thing. So yeah.
So we can get a Shira movie? I
I'm not going to say anything, but there is some sort of post scenes. There's several
nice.
post scenes throughout this movie. So yeah, it's kind of very encouraging. So and
Hmm.
again, you go see the movie, you tell them you want to pay to see movies like this, they'll put movies like this back in the theater, and that's basically how we get entertaining movies. So all right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of our game. And usually we start off with doing the domestic box office for the movies that have come out. And we usually list off the top 10 of the previous weekend in our game. And so just to start it right off at the top, the number one movie that made the most money, obviously, this past weekend and premiered was Scary Movie. And domestically, it made $55 million. Followed
That
up
took in
closely
a
by,
lot more than I thought it was going to.
yeah, I think it took on a lot more than anyone was expecting it to
Yeah.
take in, especially when we get to our number two movie, which also premiered this past weekend, which was Masters of the Universe, which domestically, and again, domestic is North American box office only, pulled in $29.3 million. In third place is Backrooms with $25.9 million. Fourth place is Obsession with 25.6. The another movie to premiere that weekend is something that I don't believe was available to us until like almost recently when they announced that it was going to come out here, so it wasn't technically part of our game. Was the fifth place, The Amazing Digital Circus: The Last Act, which came in with $11.5 million. In sixth place was Star Wars: The Mandalorian Grogu with another $10 million to its running total. Number seven was Michael with $7.7 million. Eighth place was The Breadwinner with $3.4 million. Ninth place was Pressure with $3 million. And rounding out the top 10, The Devil Wears Prada 2, which came in with $2.8 million. And I believe this is the first time since its release that The Devil Wears Prada has actually dropped out of the top five, if I've done my math correctly. So that's an interesting thing to see. Yeah, we normally go with the full worldwide box office. It's just a nicer, bigger number and all that sort of thing, and it gives those movies that usually don't do very well in North America that do really well overseas to get a little more of a catch. And with that, the only movie so far to be released since the beginning of this year to reach $1 billion is the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which is an interesting thing to see. I think the closest one next to that is actually Michael, which actually has $889 million. So yeah. And then third place happens to be Project Hail Mary at $680 million. So don't know if those movies are going to reach the $1 billion, but Super Mario Galaxy, the movie, has definitely been the first movie to hit the $1 billion mark, with actually just over $1 billion by $617,985. So just over the $1 billion mark. I suppose around this time last year, we had a couple of movies that were well on their way to $1 billion, and one was actually halfway on its way to $2 billion at this point.
Yeah.
So, but that was last year, and this year. So basically, what we're dealing with is, like I said, full numbers are what brings us to this game. So when we deal with this, I'm going through the Box Office Mojo, which gives us a list of the top 200 films and their incomes for worldwide since the beginning of the year. And for the movies that are associated with our list, we have in number 7th of all 200 is Mandalorian Grogu, which currently is sitting at $93.6 million. In 11th place is Backrooms with $202.6 million. And in our third highest movie, which is in 22nd place, is Scary Movie 6 with 105.5. So out of
That's
the top
right.
three movies in our game, Candace has all of those movies. Yes.
I think I just lucked out early.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So in 33rd place out of 200 with $54.3 million is Masters of the Universe. We then have in 45th place with $29.6 million, and that is Passenger. In 80th place with $13.8 million is The Breadwinner, another one of Candace's movies. So next
It's
we
not
have...
making that much bread, though.
No, it is definitely... It unfortunately is not. Yes. Next up, we have in 86th place with $11.2 million, and that is the Pressure movie. Pressure, which is Dan's only movie currently in the actual game. And we move to 98th out of 200 with $8.6 million, and that's Mitch's only movie in the game, and that's I Love Boosters. So basically, it's down to me and Candace just happen to have all the early movies and all that. The three movies remaining on our list, and I apologize for that, is beyond the 200 uh, point. And so, in numerical order, we have Power Ballad, which is Dan's movie. So that and it's brought in $1.9 million. And here's where we get into the really interesting ones. Below that is Corporate Retreat, which at this point has pulled in $381,000. And as we spoke earlier, Carolyn has $110,000. So yeah, so it's an interesting little way that things have played out for this game so far. And again, we're in our third week. It's still a lot of big movies to come out. But again, the game is all about the money. Who has the most money in right now? So when we compile all of our current running totals and all that, in fourth place, we have Mitch, who has a running total of $8.6 million. In third place is Dan, who has $13.1 million. In second place is Troy. That's me. Hello. With $84 million. And then polling way ahead of the rest of the pack is Candace in first place with $520 million. Well on our halfway point to $1 billion total so far. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is an impressive number to have this early in the game. Like I said, we're only 3 weeks in. Of course, this time last year, we had a few more players on the board and we had a few more movies on the board because we started a little earlier. But
Yeah.
yeah, starting with the Memorial Day weekend was probably the funnest way to actually start our big numbers and all that sort of thing. So what do you
Yeah.
got to say about your winning score so far, Miss Candace?
Well, I was pretty happy to get The Mandalorian and Grogu as like my big
Yeah,
blockbuster.
yeah.
Because I wanted an early blockbuster, but like Backrooms and Scary Movie, who
Oh yeah,
knew?
yeah.
And the same
No,
thing,
for
like
sure.
nobody owns Obsession, but like these movies are like again, Obsession, just keeps overperforming every
Hmm.
single weekend. Like it's wild, and it's actually within just a few $100,000 dollars of actually just making more money than The Mandalorian and Grogu entirely. So, um, again, I mean, it's kind of like Sinners last year, right? It's like there are movies that people
Yeah.
want to go to the theater
Hmm.
for, and they're
Hmm.
not these blockbusters that people put out. People will go see that for like a splashy big weekend, and
Yeah.
then they move on. But they will go back, or they'll tell other people and get like more
Yes.
people going. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see Obsession again this week, and I've already seen it, so
Yeah. No, because and that's one of the most incredible things about, especially about Obsession, is it's doing stuff that is pre-internet. It is word of mouth that are getting
yeah,
more and more people into the theater. And the same thing's happening with
Backrooms.
are just gonna just keep going to that movie. I mean, yeah, but yeah, seeing Obsession still doing more and more money each week than previous week. I mean, for the first 3 weeks, it would increase
Mhm.
more than the previous week and all that sort of thing. But it's just a fantastic thing, and that's what we want to see out of this sort of results. I mean, yeah, it is kind of sad that no one was able to get Obsession. I'm pretty sure someone would have been happy if we started at the beginning of May. I'm pretty sure someone would be happy with The Devil Wears Prada too, as well.
Mhm.
I mean, so yeah, that's basically what we have for this particular week. And as we bring up what's coming out for next weekend, which is going to be the weekend of June 12th to 14th, we have two movies that are part of our game that are coming out. And again, there probably will be other movies that either got released to the date or got moved around or something like that that we didn't get to put into our game. But oh well, that's how we play the game. And the two movies that are coming out are both me and Candace again. And so Candace's movie is Stop That Train. And I have the Spielberg Alien Invasion Disclosure Day. Not that
Yeah.
that's the full name of the movie. The movie is just called Disclosure Day, but it is the Spielberg returning to an alien invasion sort of story. But yeah, so
Hmm.
that's what we have. Again, stop that train. You never know. Might do as good as I Love Boosters sort of thing. It seems to be almost kind of along the same lines, but maybe not quite. But yeah,
Yeah. Who knows? The trailer looked hilarious, but it doesn't seem like
it,
the kind of thing
it
you
did.
have to go to the theater to see. So,
I can see that doing numbers on streaming.
yeah.
Whoever's
Yeah.
service gets it will be very happy with what they have. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. And again, they've just recently mentioned that this is like probably the biggest crowd of moviegoers in the first month of their summer movies since
Yeah.
COVID, which is always an encouraging thing to see.
Hmm.
But yeah, so you that's how you got to do it. You got to go out, you got to see the movie, even if you don't see these movies. Just going to the theaters to see movies, or going to the drive-in, because that works as well.
Sure
But
does.
yeah,
If
so
you can
yeah, I
find a
mean,
drive-in.
if you can find a drive-in, yes, yes,
There is one in
drive-ins are usually.
Guelph.
That's right, there is. Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
I have one just around the corner from me here in
Mhm.
Mississauga, so that's on the border of Oakville and all that sort of thing. So that's
Yeah.
always fun as well. But yeah. All right. So that being said, anything else you want to add to the movies for this week, there, Miss Candace?
Um, no. Well, you know what? Go see Carolina, Caroline, because Kyle Gallner deserves to be a big star. He needs to be like shared on social media the way people share Tom Holland's stupid, lip sync. I'm like, Kyle Gallner is everything, and nobody knows who he is. And then after he becomes everything, he'll just reject everybody and keep doing his like weirdo artsy films, and it'll be great.
I will admit, this is, I believe, my first experience for both those actors, and I was so utterly impressed. Okay, so what year do you think the movie took place in?
89.
Okay, so at one point they mentioned that Caroline's birth date is
Hmm.
1970.
Yep.
So if she technically can walk into any bar and order something to drink, she's got to be at least 21. So we were thinking at the very least like early 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking like some like it had to be like past 88, 8 or 89 because of
Yep.
the
Yep.
cars. I was like, okay, those are
Yes.
like
Yes.
some
Yeah.
they're like late 80s models, but
Yes.
these are like the poor like they're the ones that
Exactly.
they're
They
stealing.
are late 80s. Yeah, that will be
Yeah.
around until like probably the late 90s and all that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But it was definitely
Again,
like
those.
I would say sort of before about 95. Like I don't think it would have even taken place like after like 93 or 94 just because of the technology that
Yeah.
they didn't
That
have.
computer,
Yeah.
it was quarter usage for the phone booths,
Hmm.
so we can sort of set that as an error as well. So yeah, but
Yeah.
it was very convincingly put into the proper era, and yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, again, yes, go see that movie. It is definitely one. Like I said, I was not expecting to be as entertained as I was, even though the runtime is the exact same length as Supergirl. So yeah. What are the coincidences? Huh? What are the
Who
chances
know
that
like
two movies,
yeah.
like, I mean, with the amount randomness of length of movies, that Supergirl also happened to have been the exact same length as
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
what the
Another
film
movie about
listed.
a blonde girl with her puppy dog.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So that being said, we're gonna wrap this particular episode. I guess if I can, I'll get Candace back in here next week for her movie of Stop That Train. But we'll see where we go for next week. And that being said, yes, yeah,
Yeah. Go see movies.
go see movies. All right. And on that note, see you guys at the box office.
This has been the Summer Movie Draft, a Planet Geek production. Please be sure to subscribe, download, comment, share, rate, and review. You can follow Planet Geek Productions on all of our social medias. through Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, and Letterboxd, search for Planet Geek Productions. On X, former Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky, search for Planet Geek Pod. Or you can send us an email at planetgeekpod@gmail.com. If you'd like to contribute to our GoFundMe, or just buy us a coffee, check out our GoFundMe and Ko-Fi links in the description. Thanks for tuning in.